You know, I love how he's like, I'm going to focus on the mentality, focus on like just making him really happy about things. And they were laughing their asses off inside the box. End of the draft, it's like they couldn't have a care in the world. It's like you're fighting on the main stage of Ti9, potentially taking out one of the clear favorites of this tournament. And, well, let's have a laugh away as we go through it all.
And he'd also have no idea if they had a good time last game because he didn't understand what they were saying. So you just gotta hope that they were enjoying themselves in that previous game. And,
yeah.
Well,
hey, we have to work on some communication problems. Did you have any communication problems? I know, you got to tell me.
Honestly, though, that last game really showcased one of TNC's biggest strengths as a team, which is they're very, very good at team fighting. There were so many like small intricacies in every fight that could have gone differently if they had slightly different plays. You know, Infest was used super well with the Sand King. Their initiations were on point. Vici Gaming, however, they were a bit lacking in the teamfight department. We know that was going to be the case. Fade had to have an outstanding game on the Magnus. I think he played all right. He had some good RPs, some fights where he didn't get anything done. And the main problem was like the disconnect, it felt like, between the Magnus and the Juggernaut, where they didn't really get to combine their spells in too many fights in a row.
Yeah.
So this time around, I think Vici Gaming have set themselves up for an easier to execute draft than the previous one. They have multiple ways of catching. They have multiple teamfight abilities with both Tide and the Kunkka. They could even steal one with Rubik. And their lane will be just as strong as last game, if not even better. Except mid, which will be hard for Ori against Razor.
Yeah, but it's also, it's the Kunkka. It's a hero who we've seen even in some bad matchups still make the most out of it. Paparazzi's really hanging around for a long time here in mid lane too. He's trying to get a little bit of extra information. They don't see anything. The Observer Wards haven't scouted out any of the lanes. For the moment, Vici have Fade and DY down on the off lane, and Paparazzi's gonna think about joining them now. It is an aggressive tri-lane from TNC as Tims blocks the wave out with the fissure. So it's going to hold it back as far as it possibly can. And Grant gets his wish. We get to look towards the mid lane. As Armel just looks to bully Ori out of the lane.
Paparazzi was waiting. He wants to get the Tiny matchup and avoid the Bristle matchup on his lifesteal in the beginning. So he's going to walk up top, break a clarity on the way. That'll do. Yeah. And run up to the top. So TNC with a little bit of a head start in this offlane. Of course, Tiny will have the level advantage against the rotating lifesteal, but unfortunately for him, he barely denied anything.
Gabby's going to cop a lot of damage.
Oh. Be all right for now, though. Getting trial lane as Bristle is actually really scary if it's a kill lane. Oh, same story for lifestealer, though.
Yeah, Paparazzi fished up. He actually ended up having Cold Feet go, because obviously, yeah, you want to have Feast level 1. And then in the mid lane, Ori getting in the face of Armel. Courier is bringing the salve, so he'll be okay. Ori's is a little bit further away, however.
And Paparazzi will now be getting... He didn't lose as much farm as he could have because there were so many creeps top that weren't denied in the first wave from Cuckoo. So he'll get some good experience in the tower, but missing quite a lot of last hits, though. Cuckoo got a couple of denies in, too, so very nice for them in the start in the top lane. And bottom is kind of just chilling right now. I'm curious about the outcome of mid. I think historically this has been a super Razor favorite matchup, but it might be slightly better for Kunkka now than it used to be. So looking forward to seeing how well Armel/Ori will do in this lane.
Or at least knows that Tims is hanging around right underneath the Dire Ops. They can't really do much with it, but yeah, bottom lane, Gabby popping a lot more damage. Face took got his level 1 Fade Bolt, but Gabby burned through one of his mangoes, now will be salved up.
Is that why he likes Rubik's on?
Oh, over on Ori, he's got no way out of here. He just has the TP. He's only going to the tier 1 tower. Doesn't want to leave this lane because he does have the salve to get himself back up to full health. But he's been waiting for this moment and keeping Tims there.
Regeneration.
But just smart play from Ori. Keep his hopes alive in the mid lane against Armel, who was obviously very much ahead in CS.
Yeah, it's mainly the denies that are the problem. If Razor's getting farm, it's not that bad for you as long as you are getting farm too, but he's getting out-leveled heavily. And that will become a problem. Once Razor hits level 6, could maybe run you down with a Shaker Fissure, get blocked off and you get killed. And Gabby's game is not too bad either, honestly, considering the starting tri-lane and then this current dual lane. He's doing all right for himself. Staying kind of afloat, somewhat similar to the lifestealer in the top lane.
Tims is coming again, but Ori sees him coming. So Armel already having Static Link broken. There's a lot of wasted time for ES's rotation. Obviously, you can't do anything without a paparazzi on top. Any harassment you do, like, Feast is just going to regen it back up again. If you get in too deep, then DY is going to punish you.
In my opinion, this is not that good of a shaker game, especially because of the early stage that you talked about. But he can, of course, always come up big later with a good Echo Slam. He's trying to pull the wave here and not letting that happen. DY with the disruption. Very appropriately named for that situation. Disrupts the pull.
I love how Tims was, while it was happening, he was trying to pull with the illusions on the camp, but he mispulled the set of Mind Stealer. So DY has been stacking everything else on the side, but he's been trying to stop the stack on the hard camp to pull to the top lane.
Oh, he's gonna let Tims do it this time, DY.
Interesting.
I wonder why.
He does have mana for a disruption, so he could easily stop it. Even if then he has a mango.
He might let him get it because he will get the bounty then. But I don't know if that's gonna align.
Yeah, 20 more seconds. So the creep wave will be so far back, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if he gets the wave in the tower at 4:45, maybe they will not be ready to get bounty runes, but I still think they will. And he doesn't look like he's interested in contesting them anyway. Maybe they'll get 3.
Might contest bottom lane.
They could get 3.
Because you got Fade coming over, so Fade should be able to secure bottom lane, but Yang's in a lot of trouble. That's way too many stacks of Quill Spray. Really don't know if that's going to be worth both of the bounty runes, because they dragged off the support as well.
It's first blood. That's 600 gold.
Yeah, not worth it.
I think that's worth it. That is absolutely worth it for Gabby.
Is under attack.
NaVI.
And I don't know if Tide will be having a good time down here anymore.
They're going for a timeout. They know Static gets down. X-Mark, Torrent up. DY is moving in. Tims thinks he can do a little bit more, but you've still got Fade who can pick him up, and with Disruption, throws him to the other side of the rock wall underneath the tier 1 tower. Tims can't help out anymore. In fact, he tried to keep chasing down. All he had was a totem.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So a great rebuttal onto Armel. And my god, did Vici need that? 19-1 to the 33-15. The level difference was, well, it was a full level before that happened. And now the efficiency shrine them back into lane. Smoke up from TNC. Of course, it's TNC. Lost a hero. What do we do? We attack.
Look at them get quick move of their own. Looks like it's unlikely to be successful for now, unless, now it's very unlikely to be successful.
Invis Rune Fade breaks it. There's no sentry wars. There's 2 obs on Tims, but they have no detection. So disruption will begin. Cuckoo's nearby. He's going to find out there's a big stack just over on the side. So they're going to help bring that down. In fact, Bristleback may just try and farm that while he try and farms up DY's life. DY doesn't have much more to give. Down very quickly, left an Observe Ward behind.
And Gabby gets the stack.
Yeah, that's a full triple stack as well. All of it prepared by DY. That's damaging to the Vici economy.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Good clip.
Oh, he's better Fissure. Tims wraps around the side of the torrent. Will create a little bit of extra space. DY's nearby too. Starts the disruption in TNC. With 3 heroes are fighting between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower at mid. But they may go again. There's still 120 damage stolen over on the Razor. Can't get in range to hit anyone though, but Gabby also ready to dive. They'll get rid of that obs. Vici feeling like TNC knew a little bit too much there. But they've left the side lanes alone. Yang has been farming up and pushing as well as Paparazzi. It's a little bit of space for the 1 and 3 of Vici. Fade.
Lane.
Yeah, they're really trying to go again on Armel. Dropping down the ship. Is there a pickup? Is there a throwback? There's Fade having some issues. They'll disrupt to begin with. They could have thrown him down the hill, but decided against it.
I think he couldn't get the right range. He was very close to being tossable, but I'm pretty sure he would have done that if he could.
Gabby's had such a huge injection of money. He just took an ancient stack that was prepared. They're going to get another double stack up right now. And Garmel can help with a plasma field, and Gabby can just take the rest of it with calls. And it's going to bring about a very early hood.
Nothing like some good family farming.
Everybody together. Family affair. And same time you see an Urn now coming out in Rubik. Not deciding to go for the Arcane boost. In fact, you're seeing Fade, he's just directly rushing into the Spirit Vessel. There's nothing else that he's looking to complete.
Yang was just left alone to take a tier 1 tower ball. at 8 minutes.
The trade-off was the stack, right? Ori,
Yeah.
X marks Gabby, just trying to get him away from him. But Fade's going to die in mid lane.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower.
And now the mid tower being pushed by TNC, and this is the bigger tower.
And Gabby's taking the stack while this is happening. I don't even have to commit that bristleback. He's taking the stacks from the side. Yang's trying to have his own little battle with Tim's. Ori, X marks his spot's on cooldown for the moment, trying to go for a blind torrent. Tim's a little bit off target. If he really wants this, he can commit the Ravage. He may have to do so because Ori, the plasma field, Armel just moves over from the mid lane to find the kill, and Fade's got nothing more to give. Yang, he's got one charges. He's going to burn the Ravage, eclipse the bristle back on the back lines, but they really just want to kill off Armel. He's dealing all the damage out of Paparazzi, so he's hitting like kittens. Armel through the trees. He's still got 75 HP, but Paparazzi got negative 150 damage. Cuckoo will create some space with the avalanche toss, and Yang will in fact die.
Huge for Armel that he just barely manages to get Static Link off before the Ravage connected. If he doesn't turn for that, 100% a kill for Vici Gaming. But now they ended up losing their mid tower, their Ravage, and they're tied. So huge segment there from TNC, and maybe they'll even get 3 bounty runes. At least AU is trying to perhaps get some information here so he can get an additional rune, but looks like he is wisely backing away. Or is he?
Don't know. Probably feels he's okay.
Okay.
He's just taunting in the lane. That's all it has to do.
Bounty.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-2 trade-off. I think Ty's trying to get his own money in now to try and complete up this Vlad's for his team. They need the aura. Hand of Midas is flying out as well on the courier. That one will be for Paparazzi. Gabby's going to have all the money in the world. He's now sitting at 5.3. This will move up even further with these 3 big ancients to go down. So we're 10.5 minutes in, and he's cracked 5.6 net worth.
Yeah, he's super fun. And consider this was a 3rd pick Bristleback. They had ample opportunity to try to counterpick it, and they built their lineup, which hasn't been successful at countering him at all so far. They didn't really pressure him very much in lane. A little bit, but not too much.
Oh, toss in. We're already starting with a static link over on Paparazzi. He has to open wins to try and outrun this. Gabby's moving over too. They'll try and slow him down. Ice Blast, well off target, but it won't matter if they can keep that chase going on Paparazzi. Difficult, and they will back off. All they want is the tier 1 tower anyway. And VG aren't in a position where they want to try and fight. Like right now, they've got Rubik leeching some experience on bottom lane. He can TP up towards the top, and it looks like TNC will back off. The fortification has dissuaded their push. And they're actually going, okay, so you got the Vanguard. He's going Crimson instead on the Bristleback. And it's the Hood on the Razor. So they have Pipe as well as Crimson Guard from Vici Gaming in a reasonable hour. Yang, space being created by DY. He's got Ravage off cooldown in 10 seconds time. Paparazzi thinking about coming in. That's a nice Ice Blast on the back. Until it hit absolutely nobody. Not so nice anymore.
Nice can also mean that it looks pretty, Toby.
It does. Beautiful.
And it was a very nice Ice Blast. Yeah. TNC didn't manage to connect on that one, but they still got some good damage on the top tower.
Rubik actually got the Ice Blast.
That is a big steal.
And look at Armel come over. It's like, guys, we're going to kill him. We're going to kill him. Plasma field through the trees, begins the TP, realizes there's no stuns nearby. Tiny, I mean, yeah, sorry, was looking for the fissure. And Paparazzi really wants to finish off this top tier 1 tower. There's money going begging, and also just has to restrict the movement of TNC. Almost feels like it's time for another smoke from TNC. They're carrying one on the AA.
But they don't have a dead hero right now. That's when they smoke. It's when there's a dead guy and they smoke as 4 and get an amazing team fight out of it.
Getting the wrong, the logic train's the wrong way. You see the reason why the Spirit Vessel is just being totally rushed by Vade. They need to put that on Gabby every single fight.
Yep.
He cannot stand on the front lines. What are you going to do? Like, do you even build like Silver Edge on Lifestealer or something along those lines? Like,
probably not.
Like, how do you actually counter the Bristleback apart from stealing Ice Blast and getting a Spirit Vessel?
Well, if Shadow Demon could ever get an Axe, that's pretty much a hard counter.
That's the way you do it?
Yeah, it's a super hard counter, but He's a position 5. It needs to be a long game for DY to get. I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's like, if I can get this, we win this game, like game against Bristol. But Bristol kind of probably doesn't want to play that game anyway. TNC don't want another 70-minute game here with their strategy, but you never know. It might get into that position once again. And then that would be the ideal solution. Shadow Demon Act.
Just going to push hard and fast. Vici Gaming really want to have a fight up on top lane. If Gabby hangs around just long enough to get in range of the X marks spot, which is what happens. CP support is coming in. They'll hit him with a ship and we'll see just how much damage can be done. Ice Blast is flying in. Who's that one actually going to belong to? It belongs to the Radiant side. They've already killed off Gabby. Echo Slam will go. The Ravage doesn't clip up on the back lines, but Tim's Echo Slam is really ineffective. It's VG Gaming. They want to keep the chase going. The torrent, it doesn't slow down Armel. If it did, they would have been looking at a kill, not a tower. Cuckoo's moving in through the side. They're trying to look with the poison of DY. The tower is low, but it's not within deny range. VG Gaming will back up. Happy with what they've achieved so far. Killing up Bristol, slowing down his farm time. And getting all that money. Ori is the one who claimed the kill for 409.
No, I think they're going to close the top tower, though. I think Lifesteal is being forced to TP out. They might TP Bristol up top if they want to. They might not have to do it even. He's kind of in between. He's TPing to the ancient area. They're going to flush them out, get the bounty runes, and get this top tower. No Ravage. Lifesteal TP'd away. It's not defendable.
It'll still be a 2-2 bounty rune trade.
But TNC are the ones getting map control out of this. They're taking 2 towers to the 1.
Look how DY is in the neighborhood and he's still stacking. Anything he can get.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So Fade's 500 gold. They're actually giving him the farm on the off lane and inside the jungle. Like he's taking it from Paparazzi just to get that vitality booster. TP in towards mid. Coming a little late. Ori wasn't blocked in by the fissure of Tim's. So he's just waiting this out. With Cuckoo arriving. No Blink Dagger, but high movement speed. They can look towards the top lane. The tier 2 tower is being bodied right now. Gabby will try and tank up the creep wave.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The Coil Spray stacks up and running, but fortification delays them. But this is just buying time for Paparazzi to push bottom lane. He still wants to have the Radiance before they fight again, and they need to have Ravage up and running, and that's on cooldown of Yang for another 30 seconds. TNC being careful, scanning inside the tree line. They don't want to get jumped, surprisingly. Tim's? No. They don't go on this. DY is nearby just in case they try and push him. That TP took a while.
That was a really good TP though. If he runs back up, he's running into the Tiny. He knows that Shaker doesn't have Echo, so he can't get in and get that instant stun. Has to get the enchant off. And he does manage to get out. Well, that was a really awkward spot he got himself caught up in.
Yang wants to fight. They have the observe ward. They know that Armel's still nearby, so DY gonna start with the disruption. Purge is available. How much control have they got? Pick up, throw down, Ice Blast. It's gonna connect over on 3 heroes combining with the Avalanche, with the Ravage from Yang. It'll create the space back again. Cuckoo, well, you'll have toss stolen, so throw him around, throw him in. And well, run away. Gabby, he's now arriving. Fade, trying to get away from the cold feet. Gabby wants to focus down on him. They're still 2 dead for the moment, and this will be a very dead Rubik. Fade was worth quite a lot with all the space and farm he's managed to achieve.
Yeah, 440 gold per ML for that. That's pretty... It's not an even trade, but getting that exit kill definitely helps with the overall trade-off. And that was, of course, another Ravage fight. So now there's downtime. And this downtime will be used to pick up a Blink Dagger for Tim. So now things can get really interesting for TNC. They need to start fights with probably Cuckoo running it. Wait, does Cuckoo have less network than Time? Oh, they have pretty much the exact same. I was like, wait, Time is not even close to Shaker's items, but
yeah,
it has some different items.
It's actually exactly the same net worth. Actually 20 gold the difference.
Yep. So you want to set up the fight so that you can get a good Echo, ideally. Or you can lead with the Echo, but that's dangerous against both Ghost Ship and Disruption. So you probably lead the kill with Tiny or with Bristle, get a response, and then you can turn it around. You see that they're forcing Roche right now.
Yep.
Bristle can tank it, he will keep stacking up goo, and if a team fight picks out, Shaker has the dagger. They should know it though, he walked for a ward now, so they've had ample time to click him.
It's just a little early though for him. Oh, here comes your Avalanche. Toss comes, Ice Blast, they're going to avoid a VG Gaming. Up the hill and away with a Blink, Echo Slam, connecting onto with a fissure onto 3. Yori, but buys some time defensive disruption, and Abel's caught on the wrong side of the rock wall. Dead for 44 seconds, but it won't matter. When Ebb continues to sack up the quill stacks, he's going for Yang a little bit further up, while Fade has to battle against 3. He's almost down, just tossing everybody around, as then Yori looking for the cleave. You can't get it though. Gabby's already got him with a fish. Now you'll get it on AU. But they want the bigger one. They want, he's the man to start this. And they're gonna bring him down. Cuckoo's not done just yet. Toss him up, try and get him onto the radiant side. Gabby's moving in, and Ori knows he's happy with the triple kill. He's still the invincible, but he wasn't there for most of the fight because he was fighting the Titan to keeping him away from the engagement. Keep in mind that Roshan is not dead yet, and Ravage has been 10 seconds.
Yeah, that was 2 support maps from TNC, but if they manage to get Roshan, it's all worth it. If they don't, however, and lose a fight, they could end up losing the map in a big way right now, being rewarded. Vici Gaming are their heroes up and alive soon. This is a pretty slow Roche kill.
It really is.
Even with Solar Crystal, it's taking them forever.
They've built the stacks finally. Imps will come in to help land the stuns. VG don't want anything to do with this. They're going to let it go.
And do you give this to Gabby or not? No, you give it to her. No, I think that's better too. Like Bristleback, Bristle with Aegis is like pretty much invincible, but then at the same time you have another core that's exposed, and then the call from the enemy team would just be, well, we're kiting Bristle and we're killing the Razor. Now, there's no good choice. You're not going to kill the Bristle first, that's very unlikely, and killing the Razor first is also not very good because of the Aegis of the Immortals, so the upcoming fight for Vici Gaming is going to be really difficult, and maybe they're just not going to try to take one at all. Maybe they'll just farm. Paparazzi's close to Radiance. Anything else coming up? Kunkka close to Lotus Orb. They can remove all the nasal goo stacks. Reflect the static link.
It's a lot of patience from Vici Gaming, but this game feels very different to game 1, where before it's like, oh well, we're empowered, buffed up, we'll just be able to outfarm them and outscale them. But
I feel like the majority of Vici's hardest games, win or lose, have actually been with Magnus this tournament. It really feels like all bottom lane.
Have a crack, disruption up, Gabby, up, throwing down, perched, having a hard time walking this off, but at the same time, Yang, what are you going to do? Is he going to commit the Ravage? Support is on the way, Paparazzi has arrived, but they've burnt most of what they had on the Bristleback. Keep in mind, there's no Spirit Vessel charges now on Fade. That item which he rushed up, they haven't been able to actually get kills with it, or he hasn't been around when kills have happened. So the charges are going begging.
Yeah, they're necessary. The healing block, the damage. Bristleback has super high max HP, so lots of damage coming out from the vessel usage. When he's high on health, it will hit hard. And I like this from TNC. They have a siege creep, they have Aegis, they have a fat Bristleback in the front. Let's go, let's take some towers. And Vici Gaming will try to defend. Yep. As we talked about before, who is your target?
Fade's got good clearance. Lotus Orb is up. Radiant is up. Paparazzi will be the primary one. Sorry, Gabby, he's a little bit closer. Here comes your ship. Torrent combination with the boat. Mel moves forward a little bit and creates some space, but they don't get anything out of this. So the ship down, there was no commitment. TNC will easily take the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that looked like indecision from Vici. Like, the call was to go and somebody immediately counter-called that, like, we can't go. And they end up just wasting away a ghost ship. 25 seconds on it now.
Once again, Fade trying to clean this up. Tim, Cuckoo looking to jump in through the side. They're going to get it. It's a nice Ravage over on 2. And actually, the spill damage. Pistol died so quickly. I am uncertain, but Armel, he's certainly dead. In behind the back lines, looking for his own kill. Disruption from P1 buys some time for Yang to move away. He wants to stick around for the extra gush. Maybe an anchor smash. You've got good damage from Cuckoo. And then the Fisher, they hold him there, but Armel can't go anywhere. He's trapped inside the rock wall. Cuckoo, he's stopped his TP. The creep is going to chase him down. You've also got DY on the back of Tim. Does he see him? He does, but he doesn't have disruption. He can't kill him. He tries to pop him with the poison, but it won't work. Can we see that again?
I think Cuckoo got X marked, that's why his TP got cancelled, but he just ran away. So that didn't really matter very much.
What happened to the Bristle?
Yeah, he died real fast.
He has like, he's got Solar Crest, Hood, Vanguard. All these things should spell life.
I know there is a Soul Catcher, of course, but there was no Vessel.
No Spirit Vessel.
Okay, let's see. So he's crested up. Ravage. Paparazzi's just nailing him from the front.
Okay, that's it. He just never turned.
Oh, Lifesteal. Well, he got ravaged with his front turn toward the Lifestealer, so he got in like 3 hits, 4 hits. It's a quick kill. He's not tanky against that right now. Because, yeah, you've got the defensive Solar Crest on yourself, but then Tide puts an offensive one on you, and it's kind of negated. So Lifestealer is still dealing really good damage, even though he doesn't have any minus armor himself against the Bristle. Gabby just overestimated himself.
Yeah.
And for that, it was a cool play call from TNC though. They had a max range fissure. They had the ice blast over the top, but Rubik got off all his one charges before he got ice blasted, stayed alive, and they easily cleaned up the bristle and form.
It actually feels a little odd when you look at these engagements where TNC, like you said, like maybe they just underestimated how much damage VG could do. You throw out the fissure, it's like it's a Rorschach moment. I'm locked in here with them. Uh-oh. And Fade's not done yet. He wants to look for more. Farm up that ether lens, get himself something nice. Or he's able to snipe out the rune. Seems also a little harder to target him down now. Just wait for the right Lotus Orb timing. Not as easy for the Razor just to run in and get whoever he wants. Yang is approaching his Blink Dagger too.
That's a big item for Vici. It allows them to set up a fight similar to the one from the core, just that they can be the initiators. They can infest the Tide, he can Blink Ravage and Solar Crest the Bristle, and they just go to work with anybody behind with a secondary stun. So similar to last game, there's no saves on TNC's lineup. This time there's one on the Vici Gaming side with the Shadow Demon.
Looks like TNC are grouping up once more up on the top. They do have 2 smokes in the Ancient Apparition. If they want to smoke into the VG jungle, they can do so, but you're already seeing the vision game trying to be played out by Vici. Defensive Observer Ward to the north of their shrine, centering around all the access points into their jungle. But there's no wards down from TNC there. They have the Tinker Ward on the bottom lane, and they have a very defensive Obs inside their own jungle. And that's it. That's the vision. That's the vision report. Zari is really keeping the pressure on bottom. Some good farm for him. His recipe away from now completing up the BKB. There's the Ether Lens that Rubik was farming up, now completed as well. And Assault Cuirass is on the cards here for Paparazzi, and he's already got 2 of the biggest items for it.
AC is the big item, but they decided to smoke regardless, and Paparazzi actually broke the smoke to hit creeps, and now he's going to go into the jungle, so the smoke will only be Tide and Shadow Demon. I guess this is a little bit of a warding mission. Didn't really find anything with this sentry. Maybe he's going to walk down and try to obs. Oh, he's going to use it here only, so pretty defensive. Maybe they were worried that since he had a lot of heroes up here to go for this smoke, but if they were running against a lot of heroes, they would probably just die.
That's what you send the expendables.
Yeah, found that a little bit odd, but
there's another easy way to scout. I need a couple of copies, guys.
Yep.
Let's send the Life Stealers to the mid. We'll burn down the wave. VG have done a really good job of just slowing this game down.
Yeah.
The advantage was going the way of TNC, but just over the last like 10, 15 minutes, everything has been going VG's way. The experience actually tells the bigger story. About 7,500 in favor of VG. Just one pushing fight from TNC on the bottom, and VG just turned things around. They're really trying to be safe with Ori. Still got the hit.
Yeah, it's looking good for Vici Gaming right now. They're getting the BKB on Kunkka. It's a good lifestealer game like the panel talked about, with the exception of the Razor Drain. And they've kind of outlasted one of the worst parts of the game. If they precast Lotus on the lifestealer and he gets linked by Razor, it's just a net 0. So then he can just stay in the fight and hit. So TNC have to be very mindful of playing around this Lotus Orb and trying to get the initiation. They have BKBs of their own too. Bristleback 10 seconds, Razor 9 seconds. So lots of magic immunity to go around. And they're really important for both teams, these BKBs. You can't just waste them away.
This smoke won't last long enough to take a fight, but nice deep ops. But now VG, yeah, they smoke up as well. They've been looking towards the mid where Ari's been pushing it out with this X mark, hoping that TNC would actually jump him. I love how he doesn't have enough damage to actually take the creep wave out in one hit for a 28-minute Kunkka. But here comes Yang to drop down the ward. Up on the hillside. I'll leave a sentry behind as well.
I feel like I'm watching the same game as last game. Just running past each other in smokes, placing wards, and then farming creeps.
It's like both teams just understand where they're going, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, okay, we'll take the objective on the other side. We're not going to take the fight.
It's a very natural way. It's the layout of the map makes it make sense to play like this, but
That's sorry, I thought that Gabby was actually going to have a crack.
that would be a very bad idea, I think. He doesn't have the information. But during the group stage, we saw a lot more aggressive invasive maneuvers, in my opinion.
Oh, DY, he just saw the observe ward that was planted on the Ancients. He understands right behind it, but the turret, the shift, combo, tied under in the back line. The BKBs, however, protecting TNC. The Ravage wasn't good enough. Same with the Vici from Tim, keeping the back line of Vici under control. Gabby now can start stacking up the quill sprays. They've already got the kill over on the SD. Everyone else is trying to get back out. Paparazzi needs a vessel. He needs to infest. Ori came in close to give him that, but now he'll lose his life as well. VG, they were asking for it. TNC, they gave it to him.
Perfect BKB usage. I think both of the cores completely avoided the Ravage.
They did.
And the Shadow Demon as the first kill is perfect for TNC. That's the save. That's the guy that can extend the fight so BKBs expire. And then they would be able to turn around, but this Tiny is just working super well for TNC in both games. On 2 different players as well. Nice blast.
Yeah, it'll hit Fade.
So that's an hour.
Yeah.
And TNC's back in the lead.
That's all we need to do, right? It's like, say, okay, so this game is starting to go the way of Vici Gaming. Let's swing back the other way. Let's have another look at this fight. So, great initial stuns, but then BKBs of both Gabby and Armel both get off before the Ravage of Yang can connect.
And they get the Ice Blast onto the Tide. He has to run out of the fight, so he can't stay in health. And at this point, the fight is already lost, actually. So, quick and easy TNC, and they will get a Roshan.
Another Aegis and the Immortal their way, and this one comes with a cheese too. So Bristle takes the Aegis, Armel will take the cheese.
So this time they're swapping it around. Oh well, they didn't have a cheese last time. They're putting the Aegis on Bristle this time, because he was like, okay guys, I am more.
This observer ward's going to give him really good information to try and fight on bottom. So you can see TNC coming to the bottom, and well, okay, never mind. There's the curse kicking in again.
Yep.
Defensive vision now.
Alright, you wanted that creep, he got it.
The line's definitely been drawn by Gabby. Push bottom lane as far up as we can possibly go. Ravage is still down for another 21 seconds. Probably means like with the creep wave coming, Vici could try and fight.
Tower is under attack. Dire's
Right, they have the AC completed. Fade's got 1 Spirit Vessel charge.
This fight is very difficult. You have to either bait BKBs and outlast, and then you can Ravage, or you have to blink and burst people, but you can't burst the Bristle, he has Aegis. The Razor is super hard too, because he has cheese, so you have to kill him from 100 to 0 in one go. You don't have any... I mean, you have the Vessel, but you can BKB cheese.
TNC quickly smoked, but they did it underneath the Vici ward. So Vici should be very much aware of this. Gabby, Armel, 8A. Why do I feel like almost that TP towards the top lane of Tiny with the smoke was almost a bait? They want someone to feel like they can come out and fight, and Paparazzi is that man. The Ice Blast. Oh no! What?
He wanted... Okay, so Tim's wanted to force step Blink Echo, but then he force step Echo. Maybe a cooldown on Dagger. I didn't see it, but that tree is so dead. He echoed it real hard. It happens though.
Going right here.
It's not that big of a deal because Vici Gaming aren't really in a position to make an aggressive move right now, so you can just chill and wait for the echo to come back up. If you take the fight right away, you still have Aegis for another minute. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun with it. It happens.
It's all okay, all right.
Yeah.
As
The cool thing was the play itself, where they smoke and TP the Tiny away and stay, like you pointed out. That was a really cool play. Paparazzi was not expecting that at all, but fortunately for him, a bit of a misplay from TNC in that instance to go for the kill.
very rare thing as well on Tim's ES. Like, he is a god on this hero.
Everybody makes mistakes.
That they do. I'm liking this atomization as well from Vici Gaming. Like, the 4-stars are starting to begin. Fade's got his picked up. Ether lenses for the support so they can hold back as far as they possibly can. And the push is coming in through the top. Gabby, he's man the front lines. Quick early bash out from Paparazzi. Good Prospect does have his back turned. The Blazer field hits him pretty hard. He's actually perched up too. What are you going to do here, Gabby? Apart from potentially break the Aegis Immortal, they won't even get that, or will they? X-Mark pulling back in. The Spirit Vessel taking away all this regeneration he wants. They force-staff him, so he dies in push.
The poison stacks killed him off.
Plasma Field's going to clip him. Mopen wins again. Paparazzi protected by the Lotus Orb of Ori, but the volley is beginning from Cuckoo. Aghanim Scepter is being completed.
That was a beautiful kill, though. It was a really good spellcasting, and I don't know if they couldn't force staff him earlier to get him out of there. They have 2 force staffs, but
he had his back turned.
Yeah, it was almost like they were trying to bait it, but they didn't have Echo Slam, which it seemed like Vici Gaming were aware of. I'm not sure they saw Shaker.
There was no vision of that.
I don't think they knew, actually. But yeah.
Actually, maybe someone attacked them.
I don't think they saw him echo the ground. I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Hey, look, they changed the ward up this time around. They put it on the hillside. They didn't put it over on the tree line. And Vici Gaming put down their own sentry looking for it. Not going to find it. And that is the job now of DY. It's a very thankless job.
I think the plasma field scouted there from Fade.
Hit it? Yeah, it did. Nice.
That was, I don't know if that didn't seem intended. It's just farming a chem. Sometimes you're allowed to get lucky.
Unintentional awesomeness. And Fade really is just putting all his money into farm. I feel like he's taking so much farm on the map. He's got more net worth than the ES does at the moment. Which is kind of surprising considering the start you saw from Tim, but he just had to create space for the rest of his team now.
Radiant are
They're waiting for the 35-minute runes. Paparazzi is sent in. He'll rage up the torrent. Well, they're expecting Gabby to come in a bit close. With the Ravage committed, they're going to get through it. Gabby's down for 80 seconds. Tibbs was stunned on the sideline too. Cuckoo creates a volley, space creation, backcourt deep. Vici don't want anything more. They got what they wanted. They got the bounty rune and the Bristol.
TNC have to be in better position with their force staffs. If they're going to send in Bristol as food, you got to be able to reposition your food so it doesn't, you know, expire.
That analogy is just, yeah. It's very digestible.
Yes.
They're attacking in towards mid. As the X mark, it's just Kunkka trying to get in nice and close. Cuckoo forced up. Nice push away from Tim's. Cuckoo was just able to turn himself around and get away. But that's the tier 1 tower drop. VG looking to amp up the pressure. Bristol back. The only reason why he's not buying back is one, he's short of money, so VG may feel like they can force it. Armel, he gets the TP! There was no Ravage, there was no stun! No, Armel is totally trapped in TNC! The cracks are beginning to show in the armor! A quick bounce back to fall from Paparazzi! Down goes Armel, and once again TNC are fighting without one of their primary cores.
You're absolutely right, he was alive. There was nothing to stop that TP. Ravage was on cooldown, Kunkka was too far away.
It's like a,
It happens.
And now the tier 2 tower will go down as well for this.
This has been a couple of minutes with TNC making a couple of unforced errors, honestly. The Shaker missing the Echo and using it on the ground. The Bristleback getting killed on the rune. And now the Razor just not running away. And these,
not finishing his TP.
These mistakes have just... That 5k gold.
Nice observer ward from TNC. Well, at least let them know where Ori's playing. The fact the tree was tossed might flag to Ori. The vision was there. Gabby is the man who has to be on the front line defending the tower. Still trying to find that last bit of money to finish up the assault Cuirass. And they're going to start to need to have items because there's bigger ones coming in from VG. Paparazzi, he actually stopped at the Bracer and he's going in for a BKB next. So all the immunity in the world, the Lifestealer is looking for it. Does he actually have like, does he go with the +2 where the rage duration is just like immune forever almost at the beginning 10 seconds?
I think you take rage duration like every game. Yeah. The other talent is, it's not bad, it's just not 2 seconds rage duration. So... yeah, it's like really that simple.
+1%, like if it was like +2%.
The rage duration talent is super good.
just to balance that, you can just see it in the next patch, you're going to have it just at the 2s matchup. 2-second range, 2 feast percentage.
Imagine you gave a hero in the game a talent that said BKB duration plus 2 seconds as a 25 talent. How could that would be in a lot of games, right?
Yeah.
And that is even, you know, a much longer cooldown. Rage's cooldown is 18 seconds, so it goes from...
So you have 8 seconds, and then you have 10-second BK. 6 seconds the first fight with a BKB.
Yes, correct. If you layer it
perfectly.
Yep.
Sure.
That's a long time. Remember the old lifesteal of Dota 1? Who had Rage as his ulti that lasted 18 seconds with Magic Immunity, and then he had 2 passives. One was lifesteal, and the other one was Orb of Venom.
I think I like the new lifesteal better.
That hero was really stupid. And then it got changed. And that was a good decision. Techies is up next.
Yeah, I'd like a rework on Techies to make him a little bit more viable than just being a meme. Like, there are a lot of things that make him viable. Blastoff is very well worked, but yeah, Mines definitely needs something. Put out the theory crafting, something better than what Slax and I can come up with. Yang's on the hunt. He's got Gem of True Sight, making sure there's no vision for TNC around Roshan. He's another 2 minutes away from spawn time. And they really feel like, okay, hey Gabby, I'm gonna hit you with a torrent. I don't see you. There's no vision up on the hill for him, but we'll play like there is. They feel the force.
Yeah, the next Roche has got to be where it's at. When's the spawning? 1:30. Both teams will not be leaving that area very much. Kunkka's gonna go bottom to push out a little bit. He actually, okay.
Find their opening. Over on Cuckoo. Pick him up and throw him back. The Ice Blast is on the way in. It will be able to connect over on to both Yang as well as Paparazzi. Yang still having to wait out these BKBs before the Ravage can be useful as the tree toss begins from Cuckoo, but these BKBs are wearing off TNC. They have to turn around because Yang's about to come in. He's looking for the Blink Ravage. They already go for their initial target. Gabby, he can't turn around. Where is this Ravage? Where is his control? Here it is. 4 heroes hit by it, but where's the follow-up? Ori's trying to do it all at the moment. X-Mux spot, Torrent, they still haven't killed off Gabby. And now they'll lose more. Ori forced after wait. A little bit of space being created. Yang can't really help out. Fade wants to, and maybe he has enough with a quick little toss over. Ori so low on life. The Echo Slam has finally dropped down. Ori and Fade pushing up the daisies. Paparazzi about to join them as well. Maybe he can get a turn. No, he can't. He can just die. No life stealer shenanigans this time around.
Godlike fight from Tims. Every fissure made every bit of a difference in that fight. He blocks them off on the initiation, he blocks them off during the Ravage, he blocks them off during the escape, and then he gets the Echo, which is just a measly 1 hero Echo that barely matters because it's completely overshadowed by how wonderful those fissures were. That's the best play I've seen today. The way he played this fight was absolutely amazing.
Have I made up for my Echo Slam on bottom lane?
He just realized he doesn't need to use it. He's like, okay, well, if I don't mess up my Echo and I focus on my fissures, man, that was awesome. That was a super good fight.
Gabby is starting up on Roshan. This is the 3rd one. It has a refresher shard, no Aghanims upgrade. But the fact that Armel also got through that entire fight, they still haven't used the cheese from the last Roshan.
Yeah.
So now they'll have a second one. Refresher shard. It goes to the Razor. You get cheese on the Earthshaker,
and we also need
cheese on the Tiny with the Aegis on the Bristle.
We need to remember how that fight broke out too. Kunkka was bottom, and they went for jumping on the Tiny, I think, when the first fissure saved him, and they had the 4-stats. I think jumping the Tiny next to the tier 2 tower is just not a high-value play, and not one that favors them at all. So,
and that anchor clap. Shady eardrums all you want. Torrent combination. Gabby saying a little bit too long. He's got a lot of poison stacks on him. They're going to purge him. They just want to break the Aegis Immortal once again, but the forced up over with the fissure wall, creating all the space in the world. TNC really on top of positioning, but they don't get up to the high ground. They did not force a buyback.
Oh, regen.
No, how nice.
Yeah, when you have map control like this, you're likely to get runes. It's 40+ minutes, and now there's 2 runes every time. There's an Invis sitting bottom, not the most relevant rune for what TNC are trying to do right now.
Hey, look, Yang's going for the double ulti again. This time he might be able to actually farm up the refresher orb, but they're looking for 2 times the Ravage.
And this time it's huge compared to the last team, I would say. I mean, in theory, the 2 RPs would have been outstanding as well, but this will be much easier for him to use.
He just has to wait so long. Like, they still waited for the BKBs. They were 9-second duration BKBs in the last fight, actually 7 seconds for the Razor. But they are starting to get lower. That wait time and that immunity time is definitely going to drop, especially now the BKBs on Paparazzi. He had that in the last fight too. We did see that long immunity duration. They're going to put it to the test. He's going to break the smoke over on Gabby. Vici will connect. Is there something to help? DY wants to. Disruption. Tims doesn't hit on the Echo Slam. Instantly they want to move away, but Perch actually, yep, it's over on Gabby, but Tims creates more space. Volleying forward once again. Almost impossible to move through that volley.
Something Yang can do in the upcoming fight is he can blink and pump fake the Ravage to bait out BKBs. Then he can BKB himself, stay alive, and then get the Ravage in. They need to kite the BKBs, and similar for TNC, you can... Or, well, not similar, because I think kiting for you is way harder and not as impactful. The cooldown of Lifestealers, we've talked about this, how much uptime he has. It's hard to play around, and playing around Tide's BKB is probably not going to get you very far. So it's way more of a value play for Yang. And if he does get the refresher and he blink pump fakes 2 BKBs out, you better get out of there before he gets the Ravages, or you're going to lose multiple heroes very quickly. Alternatively, he can also just blink Ravage instantly, hope they don't react, maybe catches some supports.
Really wants to get rid of that Radiant Observer forward, but it's so dangerous to come close to the volley. Another quick tree toss, they'll send in their immunity Lifestealer to do it.
Kuko's damage is super high with the Ags Daedalus.
And the control that comes with the Echo Saber as well. It's like 100% movement slow for 0.8 seconds. Well, the pressure is being applied through both bottom as well as mid. Yang does have the double Ravage, but they have the opening. He jumps in for a quick anchor. Now, the tier 3 tower still getting beaten down. The Aegis Immortal from Gabby will last a little longer. Tims has Echo in 10 seconds. Looks like finally Ori is actually, he's under the Observer Ward. Avalanche has been thrown out. Cuckoo just trying to battle for the bounty runes. Goes for the quick volley. Support's coming in with the Ice Blast. Ori going to stay inside of it as well. Just trying to walk all this off and then TP away to safety. Cuckoo, but nothing to stop him with. But look at Vici. Move out. Look for their own target now that a lot of attention of TNC's been dragged top.
That was great from TNC though. They got 4 bounties. They do end up conceding some map control here by letting Vici come back in. Perhaps they could have avoided that if they just let Tiny do the job top and they stayed in this strong position down here. But they do get all 4 bounties. So some good economical win. Oh, that's an Abyssal engineering.
Yep, bottom lane. They're going in after Paparazzi. He's still got his BKB available as well. That rage is lasting forever, but so is Armel's like damage deal. 280 quick out of it. A push away from Cuckoo. Now the Ravage will pop a 4-star. They're going to X-mark and pull him back in again. All that extra life that he gained. Where's your refresher in second time? It ain't going to happen. Or maybe they just stick on top of him. That'll be the way to bring down the Tiny. Vibe comes in from the room. He get a lot of money. Now they look to the Ancient Apparition. Another torrent. Pulls him back in once more. Ancient Apparition to full. Disruption. It is allowed to go to the next target, but there's your refresher. Armel, BKB, and put up the storm. They're looking for their own damage output, and the stun from ES is stopped Yang from getting the instant Ravage off. And in fact, he doesn't even have the mana for it anyway. They're just gonna have to hold in Armel. Yang with the BKB wants to keep on fighting, but now the volley will arrive. They have to start retreating. Vici Gaming back on the shrine. This thing's still up. They're gonna regenerate up almost everything they lost. And he's gonna try and fight into them. They've gotta be careful. Ravage is still available. He can play forward and just go for it. Bristle back. He gets clipped up, and also the stun to the sideline. Bristle's down for 100 seconds. Ancient Apparition will also go down, but they pull back the Mega One. They pull back Cuckoo. They need to get rid of all that damage output that he had. They can't do so. Ice Blast comes too late. TNC, 2 heroes without buyback, and Vici Gaming, like sharks, they smell blood in the water, and they're hunting. Yang, taunt chasing Armel up through the top lane. He's wasting time, however. Vici need to push the lane.
This is a huge kill though to Kids.
Oh, with a gush. He's still got Static Link available. There's no stun. There's no way he can actually cancel the TP. That's the goal right now. Kunka's coming over. He'll BKB TP away to safety. Safety for Armel.
Radiant's middle tower.
And in the meantime, Lifestealer and Rubik are still mid, so they've pushed out that wave and they're going to try to go high ground. Good Fissure is going to buy some good time here.
Still a big creep wave pushing into the top lane too, and Ancient Apparition is forced in the bottom. So while Paparazzi is going to be knocking on the door, Taking anything more than a tier 3 tower may be problematic, but they'll look for a trade-off. Here comes your Ice Blast flying in, catching everyone a long distance with Razor. Below one line, they'll try to protect him, but it won't happen. Spade just volleys him down. But now what do they get? They're going to buy back out from a Razor, but there's problems on the bottom lane and top. The catapult double waves really did a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, AO may have just saved a potential lane of racks there with this bottom push that he was doing with AA.
Tims, this is a solo kill. Jumps out, can grab the double damage room. Fissure, maybe he doesn't even need it. Echo slams, a quick force stop. Ti9 for your scepter. He went up in the air and now disruption. He'll go two different ways. The Ice Blast flies right over the top. Ti9 needs to kill off the illusion. Won't help. Gabby will find him. Geometrusa has been dropped. Still a 1-for-1 trade-off as they keep on battling. Maybe with the torrent. Where's your boat? It's off cooldown, but they don't want to do it. The BKB's protecting TNC for the moment, but they're such low durations that TNC know they need to back off once more.
And Tims used buyback. So did Shadow Demon actually, so never mind. But Tims is way more valuable. He is much richer. His buyback cost, I think it was, let's see, 1,200 to the 500 of Shadow Demon. So that's about another 1,000 gold before the gold loss itself.
And the fact that Vici were able to get there in time means they also recovered the Geometru sites. So there's none of that value lost either. Very problematic for the support to try and survive.
And you're going to get your Silver Edge, it looks like.
It is.
It will happen.
So we have Silver Edge for the Conquer. The Daedalus, there is enough money for Paparazzi to buy that right now. His surplus is 200 short of buyback. Yep. I also love how Fade's been working his way towards this scythe for such a long time. He's like, I'm fine. I got this. No matter what, I got this. Now smoke up from Vici.
They have 2 Ravages, and there's Bounty Rune spawning. This is pretty much the perfect timing.
And there's no Echo.
Oh, this will be a great
start for He is going to go down quickly. Dead for a minute and a half.
It might seem like a small kill, but he has no buyback and dropped the gem.
And Roshan spawns in 10.
Yep.
That's the bigger part. If Vici Gaming see this without the Ancient Apparition Blast, like, can you take this?
That fight, I think, is next to impossible for TNC, even with a good Echo. Unless Vici line up for them to land the perfect combo, it's gonna be tough.
Oh, stolen volley. That's one Fade never wants to give away. He's gonna go through almost the full duration of the steal for it.
It's a pretty pitiful tree volley compared to
the real Tiny.
To the real one, yeah.
Oh, Roshan's alive and VG know it.
It's a big boy. He's got all of the items. This is Roche number 4.
Where's your Aghanims upgrade this time around? Do you actually even give it to the SD so we can keep purging up?
I think giving it to SD is really good. It applies break when you have Aghs. That's why it's the hardest counter to Bristle. Maybe in the whole game. I think Shadow Demon Aghs has got to be one of the absolute highest on the list. But are they seriously not giving him the Aghs?
Who are they giving it to?
Life Stealer?
Wait, what? He's going to assimilate now?
It's like the worst Axe in the game.
Maybe it was a misclick.
I mean, maybe they just wanted to pick up everything in case TNC was coming, but I can't.
It's like, so what was
who do you want to swallow?
Yeah, who do you swallow? You don't take in Kunkka. You can jump in with Tide Hunter, but Tide's the one doing the jump anyway.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, DY definitely looked a hell of a lot better.
It's amazing. It is so good this game, and he even has items to get them off reliably with both Lens and Force Staff.
Maybe they're just where these are low, but even then you could take the Rubik.
They could have given it to Rubik.
Rubik would have been great.
They could have given it to Tide, so they have AoE gun. I mean, there's no way. No way.
This makes no sense, but hey.
It's all we got.
That is the decision of the teams.
Vici are still in a great position, so
I love how we get,
for them,
we get to watch him again. It's like, guys, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. It wasn't meant for me.
It's like, okay, man, you want the Axe? Swallow me next fight, then do it. Yeah.
It's like watching TNC. Like, it was the major where they're just fissure blocking each other out. And just playing around the ruins. Hey guys, let's have a little bit of fun. It's going to remind you, Vici Gaming, you're currently 1 game down in the series.
Yep.
A loss here drops you to the lower bracket, where then every game is an elimination to get to that grand final.
They're probably feeling really good about their position in this game, though, as they should. They're in a great position. Tide has 3 Ravages, but he doesn't have much mana, though.
Can he even get 3 Ravages off?
No. Unless they mono boot him or something. Do they?
You don't have any, like, there's no arcane boots on the SD, there's no arcane boots on the Ruby. They both put their items into the ether lens.
They probably aren't planning to use 3 Ravages in the same fight anyway. I think it's a mistake, though, to have the Refresher Orb instead of the Shard in his inventory.
Yeah.
You know, the Shard is free.
The 375 mana for Refresher Orb.
You get some regen for now from having the orb, but absolutely swap in the shard when you're trying to go high ground, just for safety's sake.
Here's your move in. Bristle back in the front lines. Paparazzi gonna rage. There's a quick Abyssal Blade from Gabby. Trying to control up Paparazzi. They'll pick him up. They'll drag him back over with actually another one. Just leave him under the turret. The best front liner they could have asked for. A Bristleback with his back turned and no 3 purges to worry about.
Yep. How fortunate. Oh, that's a good fissure, but
yeah, it's gonna lock Paparazzi in. Remember, he's got the Egos the Immortal. He just wants to get back out again. Now they can start taking out the shrines. As Red Eye feared, this is Vici Gaming. We take an objective, we move back, and we take a safer objective now. Be it farm, be it shrines.
I do not blame them for a moment for doing that.
Neither do I. You see the advantage.
Considering what happened last game too, they were in good position 2 or 3 times, and they just ran up to different high grounds and lost fights. Like, there's no need for them to do that currently.
You just have a chat with the coach at the back. It's like, okay guys, let's not go high ground until we're good to win the fight.
It's entirely possible that that's what RTK told them after the game. It's like, you have 10 minutes between these games. You don't have time to sit down and go through details in the replay. You get 1 or 2 key points across to the team that they need to work on for the next game. And honestly, I think one of them should have been, okay guys, in the next game, don't force fights in bad positions. That's #1 thing you don't want to do.
Okay, we have the mana now for Ti9 to commit the Ravages. He's got Nocturine Core.
Oh, he was hovering a little loss.
Jump up, fade, looking for a target. Remember, he's got that side defiance as well. The Ravage is going to burn straight away. Tiny, it even clipped the H-Net bridge in the back lines. Tiny does not have buyback available. VG have an opportunity, but the BKB is down for Kunkka.
He refreshed on tight. Refresh #1.
Okay.
Time to
now he switches the Refresher Shard in.
Now he has another 2 Ravages.
Yep. A Paparazzi, again being that front liner, making the most of his immunity time. Mel and Gabby clean up the way pretty nicely. Another X mark. That one's over on Ori. He's not even coming close. It's just like, just in case something really weird happens. That's probably going to be on Paparazzi.
Noticed.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he X'd the bristle with Lotus on. It looks pretty funky when
yeah, it does. Like, that's not intentional.
All right, that's a half-decent static link. Not too great, though.
Still a 53-second window.
So is there anything coming up for TNC now that's going to turn the tides of this game?
They don't have Satanic
There's
yet.
no big item coming.
Tim's is waiting for the right opportunity. He's moving around the side. That's a good Echo Slam opportunity, but they just lost the creep wave. A Forcer gets Bristol back underneath the T4 towers. The fissure is a fantastic block. Rage now up here from Limesealer with the BKB. But the BKB speaking to my TNC, they're waiting it out. The Ravage is ready. In 2, 1, BKBs around. And the Ravage goes #1. Yang, is it time for a second? Maybe it's not. The Aegis Immortal has been burnt. VG take the racks. They're just going to reset.
They used 3 Ravages, and all they got was this shitty T-shirt. Now they got 1 melee racks.
They're coming back. Another pickup. The X-Mark's going to bring Thunder back to front line with a torrent. Razor forced up forward. Well, this all didn't protect him enough. And now Paparazzi feels like he can just go in. If he can get it back, they've got the head from Rage. It's from the Rubik. Rage is down for 2 minutes. VG Gaming, what do you want now?
Okay.
Bottom lane or more?
Now it's a bit of secret.
I've upgraded. I've got the Mahjong set now.
Kunkka's going to defend easily with X mark. He comes back to mid. They're grouped up. There's no Ravages available right now. 60 seconds for 2 Ravages for Yang this
I love
time
this.
around.
They actually TP Tim's out so he can pick up the bounty runes. So Razor actually had buyback. He needed to go and get that money or else they wouldn't be able to have him for this fight. And then he'll come around the back. Echo Slam is available. VG may not be looking for it. The bat is already over on Sunny. They forced off him away. Feel protective. Now Tim's, if you're gonna go, you're gonna go. 3 together. Lock him down. From heaven, the shatter arrives, but Limesealer still gets the BKB off. He's being beaten down by Gabby with all that big damage. Kuku will get the jump in as well. Yang will fall. The damage is huge with the anchor smash back again, but they just chase for more. A long toss up towards Fade.
Oh my
Reed, and she just crit the crap out of him.
That's pretty volley. Did he just get 3 crits in a row?
He did.
Oh, it's pretty absurd.
Man, what a play by Tim's, understanding the game and then getting the great position. He knew he was okay because the Obs and Sentries were on top of the hillside, so he knew that VG had no information
And you have to take these risks. When your back's against the wall and you're this far behind, you got to do something crazy, and it worked out. Ice Blast was crucial there.
You've still lost a lane of rack as well as a tier 3 tower on bottom. This is still the small crippling part.
It's not great, but it's better than the alternative, which was game 3 right now. More than likely.
Well, the alternative is still potentially there. It was a 30 grand advantage because the bounty race got picked up by TNC. It swings back up another 5. The experience is probably telling a closer game, however. Only 9,000 the lead. And TNC, they'll smoke up. They want to force some buybacks.
Yep. How many are they going to get?
Actually, he went 2 charges of disruption on ST.
Yes.
I was wondering if he would think about the purge damage against Gabby, but he's going to Aghanim to disobey. Well, maybe not. There's disruption number 1. That bottom rack's getting brought down quickly. Ship is comboing it nicely. Forced up on the Bristol back, still protected by that Lotus Orb. Kunkka pulled back by his own X-Mark. Double Daedalus looking to try and get some level of damage in, but TNC just did a hit and run. But they didn't force the buybacks out from Vici Gaming. Well, only the one on the Rubik.
Still a great grab, though. They got a lane of racks out of that?
Yep.
We'll take that. Oh, Rubik.
Big up. Forced up away, and Cuckoo. Oh, no, Fade. He doesn't want it. Actually, he wants to steal it, but a great vision once again. Creating space. Tiny BKBs. This is such a low duration time. They may try and continue the chase. In fact, they do. Here they saw him just in the last moment. Move up the hill. It won't last long enough. The bash is there from Paparazzi with the Abyssal Blade. Tiny will fall, so you did get a buyback, but now you're down a player, and Roshan will respawn in 40 seconds time. Tiny will have to buy back if TNC want to try and control it.
Yeah, he needs a way to connect to the fight, though. He can't afford Boots of Travel and buyback, and he has no shrine to TP on, so even a buyback is a really long connection timer.
They're coming. Silver Edge up from Kunkka, walks in, close range, Ravage the hunt, Freezer, Armel has no time for him to the double Ravage. They keep getting out, and they call both Tims and AU up on the hunt front. Is someone going to force up? He's going to force up. He'll get himself away with the Glimmer Cape. X marks the spots over on Bristleback. Is there another follow through? Silver Edge is coming off cooldown right now. It is breaking. Maybe with a volley. Ice Blood coming back with the low and right. Yankee Smash able to help get the kill. 2 heroes down from TNC. Vici Gaming. Screw Roshan. Go for the win. Those 2 big cores down. There won't be a buyback. There won't be a way to actually stop this. They're going for bottom racks. What are you going for? They're waiting. They're regenning up and then they'll come forward. They don't have a Ravage. It's the only thing to be cautious about. But TNC, with no buyback, Vici will be aware of this because they are on cooldown. Now, Tim, Cuckoo, jumping in, able to get the first little avalanche and hit off. But dispensive destruction from NaVI creates extra space. Abyssal Blade, Sentry Ward's everywhere. Tams hits the back line with the Echo Sun. He needs to get the damage going, combining with the Ice Blood. 3 heroes be hit by it. Rubik and NaVI, they'll end up shattering through this. But 3 heroes down, all the damage, all of it's gone from TNC. This is the win for Vici Gaming. They will come through, they will play more, and they will play a deciding game against TNC, who have fought absolutely valiantly to get to this point. But Paparazzi will end it. GG is called. 2 games over an hour. This is becoming the Vici probably never thought they'd have to run.
These games are really close. These teams are super evenly matched, and it comes down to, you know, Dota is always about mistakes and big plays, right? And it feels like